That looks like an Imperial cruiser. Our passengers must be hotter than I thought. Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Wanted to talk about my Imperial Star Destroyer model kit that I made years ago. I think this is the 1980 MPC kit that was available back when Empire Strikes Back came out. And it's about the only representation of the Imperial Star Destroyer that exists. I mean, for such an iconic vehicle, this thing has almost no representation in any line of, like, certainly as far as Kenner is concerned, they did a die-cast little vehicle with a folding open panel, and the Darth Vader Star Destroyer playset, which is like maybe a slight cross-section of a Star Destroyer with a few areas you can mess around in. But the Star Destroyer itself, the Imperial cruiser, almost has no representation at all. This, as I say, is a model kit, and it is incredibly small. Here it is. This is all of it. What is that? Maybe 12 inches? Maybe? Yeah, but I put this thing together, and it was a neat little way for me to learn how to do painting, because I'm going to do a few close-ups. This is tricky because this is supposed to be such a huge vehicle, and it's such a small model that I'm going to have a hard time zooming in. I think I'll have to use different angles and different shots to kind of show off, yeah, all of that work that I did. But yeah, there is the Imperial Star Destroyer. Now, mine has a few problems. This little thing up here, the deflector tower for the shields, has kind of melted or moved or leaned in. And the very front, so the model kit was very tricky to put together. I mean, yeah, top and bottom, and this section went on very easily, like sandwiched. But then this part here was a separate thing that kind of slid on, and then you attach all the little different bits and pieces. This is all one piece along here, and that's all one piece along there. And where they meet in the middle is kind of a gap. I'm gonna have to show another shot of that. But yeah, so it's not perfect. And in my case, I've actually got a hole along the back there. But you know what? It's a Star Destroyer. Like, if you want to represent the Imperial fleet in some way, this model kit was about all that existed. So enjoy what you have here. This is your Star Destroyer. Trying my best here to get the entire ship. So yeah, you can see that that thing has sort of leaned over and started to fuse in from that side. Can I get the front as well? Okay, so yeah, there is kind of the front of the vehicle, and then it kind of focuses back. Yeah, I hope that sort of best shows off what it looks like. Like a nice side view there, and the back. Quite happy with how the back turned out. Of course, my engines aren't lit up in like the iconic shot. I'd have to put little lights in there. I have heard some people say a disadvantage or a downside of this model kit is these are very, very delicate. I found them okay. If anything, it's that one guy up there. I'm not going to try and force that, but yeah, the model kit was like a standard of the time. What I was very pleased about was the paint job. This is my work. This is me kind of very carefully airbrushing, if you will, all the little areas, just to make some kind of indication of edges and greeblies and all that kind of good stuff. Unfortunately, there's these little areas here of rot. I don't know what that is. That's brown. That is not something that I painted there. I think that's maybe age showing its way. This thing is over 40 years old, so that may be yeah, it feels a little sticky. Probably from all the traveling this thing has done. I think maybe it has definitely seen better days, and that might be rot trying to work its way in. I will hand it to MPC. Like, this is where Princess Leia's ship gets stuck in the first film. And there's quite a lot of nice, tiny little detail in there. Like, they definitely did their best to make this ship look like it is in the film. And again, a challenge is getting both the towers at the top and also the sort of sandwichy area along the bottom in focus at the same time. It's not easy. There you go. That's about the best that I can do on that one. Here you can see basically the command tower, those two deflector screen generators, and my vague attempt at trying to do some greebly painting. I think that worked out okay. And there's the area in The Empire Strikes Back where the Millennium Falcon hid. Give you an idea. That was one of the first few times you had an idea of the scale of everything. On the topic of scale, the Imperial Star Destroyer is so hard to grasp. I mean, the classic opening shot really did a good job of like giving you an idea. This is a huge vehicle, kids. Just be prepared for this. I have attempted my best to recreate that here. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Da-da, da, da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I hope that I don't get any kind of copyright strike for trying my attempt at the John Williams soundtrack. And again, on the idea of scale, this is such a huge vehicle and something that little kids just couldn't possibly wrap their heads around for like play purposes. But I've more recently been able to truly appreciate the size of this thing by playing various games in VR. A big one has got to be Star Wars Squadrons. I have definitely encountered the Star Destroyer multiple times in that, and looking out the canopy of my Y-Wing and just seeing just how huge this thing really is, that's mind-blowing and also very informative for a Star Wars fan, like to finally get your grasp of how big this vehicle really is. It doesn't look great in Squadron, so actually a better one is the X-Wing experience that came in Star Wars Battlefront 2015. They added in a little Rogue One promotional mission, and you encounter a Star Destroyer there. The lighting is so much nicer, and the vehicle just looks so much more pristine that it is the way for me to appreciate the Star Destroyer in all of its glory. And again, huge when you're looking out, in that case, your X-Wing canopy. Anyway, that is my Imperial Star Destroyer model kit from MPC from the year 1980. Did my best to paint this and make it look kind of like it does in the film. I think you need proper low light and an internal LED kit to bring it to life like it looks in the Star Wars Battlefront VR experience. That darkened, sinister gray version of the Star Destroyer, far more compelling and interesting than this one. But for those who follow my content, you'll notice I haven't brought out the Stormtrooper whiskey this time around. Two reasons. One, we're in space. I can't drink a whiskey and leave it dangling through the cosmos. And second of all, this is a model kit, not a Kenner toy, so I don't think I have to worry about the usual concerns when it comes to any of the toy stuff. Alright, well anyway, there is my Imperial Star Destroyer model kit from 1980. I quite enjoyed this little project when I came out. I was not much of a painter before, and I don't think I'm much of a painter now, but you know what? It was a lot of fun to do it. Alright, well until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.